Today we are talking about prolapse and how to deal with it as an injury, especially from a psychological standpoint. Now, injuries are super frustrating, but I find that one of the unique parts of having this type of an injury, this kind of internal injury, is that it's hard to talk about, right? We don't bring it up maybe as openly as we would if we had sprained our ankle or torn our ACL or had a rotator cuff tear, right? This is a interesting injury because it's internal. And not only is it internal, but it's an internal injury in an area that we don't typically talk a lot about, right? So it may make us uncomfortable to even tell people that we have this injury. And it's hard to really have open dialogue with other women even about this injury that we're dealing with. So I'm going to share with you my 3 biggest tips for helping us overcome this injury in a proactive way. So my first tip for you is to stay calm and maintain perspective. You've got to remember that this too will pass, that you will not likely have this injury forever, especially if you're very proactive about doing all the right things to help keep your prolapse at bay. As a personal trainer for 25 years, I have had clients in their 80s who have listed off all of their injuries that they've had over the course of their lifetime. And sometimes they even forget to tell me things that I view as super important because they've lived a long time. And with this distance comes perspective. So I remember having a client, and he was probably in his late 70s or early 80s. And he told me after weeks of working with him how he had open heart surgery. Or I've had clients tell me that they've had cancer. And this is after meeting with them a handful of times, and they just forgot or overlooked that kind of thing. So that's one piece of perspective that you just want to have, that just because something is happening to you now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be happening to you forever. And that staying calm is one of the best things you can do. If you are high-strung and stressed out, you will definitely be feeling the issues of your prolapse longer. It's like this weird paranoia where you're just so obsessed with this injury that you feel like you are going to feel it all the time and that it's ruined your life. So stay calm. Remember, this too will pass, and it's going to be okay. My second tip for you is to treat rehab like your workout time or like your training time. So if you are dealing with this prolapse, it may be really depressing, and I totally understand that. I have been a distance runner. I would be training for things all the time, and to be sidelined by something like prolapse is really annoying. Now, back when I was training for lots of long course triathlon, I had a good friend who had injured her elbow. So she had this tendonitis in her elbow. And because I was such a strong swimmer, I would do her swim portion as a relay for her. But even though she had an injured elbow, we would still meet up at the pool and she would do her drills, the drills that wouldn't irritate her elbow. And I remember talking to her about this once, and she said, I just have to keep the time. I always have an hour to swim twice a week. Now, I'm not doing speed drills right now. I'm just doing my rehab, but I'm keeping it as my time to train. And the temptation when you're injured is to just throw in your towel and just stop training or working out or whatever it is that you love to do. And you need to treat your training time like rehab time. So if you are dealing with prolapse and you're used to doing 30 minutes of running every day, then you do 30 minutes of something else that doesn't bother your prolapse and spare 10 minutes for doing your core work that will help strengthen your pelvic floor muscles and help you get back in the game a little bit sooner. So this is no reason to throw in the towel. you need to be really resilient and keep up the time that you would normally be at the gym or running or doing whatever it is you normally do. And if you had that time before, then you have the time now to do your rehab. So treat rehab time like training time or like your workout time, and don't throw in the towel. Use it well in order to come back stronger. And my tip number 3 is use this as an opportunity to find a different activity that you love to do. I'm a distance runner, and so the idea that I can't run anymore in the way that I used to really stinks. But I'm now in my second summer of Prolapse where I am running a bit, but I'm not running anywhere like I used to, and I kind of miss that. So last fall, I got a new swimsuit and goggles and everything, and once the weather warms up a bit, I am going to go start swimming again. I used to be a super strong swimmer, and I haven't swam in probably more than 5 years. And so I'm thinking maybe I can use this as an opportunity to start swimming again, to get out in open water again, maybe do some competitions again. So I'm scratching that itch, and swimming long distance in open water, I can't see that bothering my prolapse at all. Instead, I think with the breathing patterns that you utilize when you're doing open water swimming, I actually have a hunch that it's going to be really beneficial for me mentally and physically. So I'm looking forward to doing that again. Maybe I'll even just start swimming with a master's group again. So those are my 3 tips for you if you are dealing with prolapse and you're frustrated and you are really needing to get it fixed and you're feeling bummed out and you're feeling not yourself and you need to see a change. Stay calm. This too will pass. Treat your rehab time like your training time, okay? If you have the time blocked out for training anyways, you used to, there's no reason why you can't have that blocked out now. And find something else that you love to do that won't impact your prolapse. Anything non-impact is great, like swimming. And it's gonna scratch an itch, that competitive edge that I really like, and keep me strong and motivated. So that is it for me today. My name is June Melia, and I've been a certified personal trainer for 25 years. If you are needing to start taking care of your pelvic floor, maybe you're struggling with leaking when you're coughing, sneezing, laughing, exercising, maybe you feel the symptoms of prolapse, which is like you have a tampon in, even though you don't have a tampon in, like something just isn't sitting right in there, achiness in your pelvic floor region. This is really what I love to talk about and help women with. So if that is you, subscribe to my channel so that you will be notified when I am giving more information about prolapse and healing from prolapse. And right here, I'm going to share with you a video all about how to start strengthening your pelvic floor, your core muscles, so that you can start helping yourself help your prolapse. That is it for me for today, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.